Welcome back to the Short Game Podcast. It is Wednesday, February 11th. Little warmer today up in Philadelphia. I need this snow on the ground to go away. I don't know if you saw the news out of Guthrie today. Bomb squads, tracking cars across 3 counties in 45 minutes using Ring doorbells. We are officially living in a glass house. There is no off the grid anymore. If they want to find you, they find you. So, if privacy is dead, what is the only defense we have left? Influence. Today, we are dusting off the manual, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Most people think this is a book about being nice. It's not. It's a survival guide. In a world where everyone is watching you, you better make sure they like what they see. I'm 25 years old. I'm building NexYear, and I have a choice. Do I become a content creator, dancing on TikTok for attention? Or do I become a tycoon who operates in the shadows? Everyone tells me to be loud. I want to be quiet. But in a surveillance state, is sending a physical gift strategy, or is it stalking? We're going to find out. Let's get into it.
Okay, stop what you are doing. Put the coffee down. Pull the car over if you have to, but I need you to focus.
Oh boy.
I saw the footage from Guthrie this morning. Did you see this? Because if you haven't, you are like living in a dream world.
I saw the report. It is extensive and concerning.
It is officially over. The game is cooked. February 11, 2026, mark it on the calendar. This is the day privacy actually died.
It's a major inflection point for sure.
You know, I'm usually the one wearing the tinfoil hat saying birds are government drones and the clouds are fake, but this is a visceral. This is real life.
No, this is different. This is documented.
Extensive. It's terrifying. The police tracked the suspect, just some guy in a beat-up sedan, not a supervillain, across 3 counties in 45 minutes.
45.
And do you know how? They didn't launch a helicopter. They didn't even use a satellite. They used a mesh network of grandma's Ring doorbells and automated license plate readers.
A consumer-grade surveillance network.
They handed him off from porch camera to traffic light to porch camera like a baton in a relay race. It was seamless.
It is the panopticon.
Yeah.
We have discussed this concept before, but Guthrie is the proof of concept. The infrastructure isn't coming. The infrastructure is already here. It is just being turned on. The data streams are finally being merged.
Bro, it's not just infrastructure. It's a glass aquarium. We are living in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
You can't even pick your nose in your driveway anymore without a SWAT team analyzing the trajectory of your finger. The grid is undefeated. It sees everything.
It does.
And if you think you're slick, if you think you're off the grid because you deleted Facebook and threw your iPhone in a lake, you are deluding yourself.
That's a fantasy.
The neighbor's doorbell camera has already logged your movements, your gait analysis, your heart rate, and probably what you had for breakfast.
It is terrifying if you look at it purely from a legacy privacy standpoint.
Okay.
But let's look at the data objectively.
Okay.
The grid is here. It is not going away. You can scream at the clouds, you can move to a bunker, or you can optimize for the environment.
Right now, my strategy is looking a lot like cave in the Ozarks and eat moss. Just disappear into the humidity.
That is a low agency response. Think about the physics of the situation. If we accept the premise that privacy is dead, that you are always being watched by the algorithms, the police, the neighbors,
But we have to.
then the strategy must change. You can no longer hide.
Yeah.
In a panopticon, invisibility is impossible. So the only defense left is influence.
Okay, unpack that. Because usually when people say influence, they mean doing dances on TikTok or selling teeth whitening strips.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, survival influence.
Right.
If the watchers, whether that's the lizards at the top or just the local authorities, are going to see you, you have to ensure that when they see you, they like you.
Huh.
You need to hack the social graph.
Yeah.
You need to become undeniable to the human element behind the camera. And to do that, we are going back to the source code.
Okay.
We are pulling up a manual that is over 100 years old. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie, the OG. the grandfather of the hustle. I'll be honest, I always thought this book was for, like, used car salesmen and people trying to get out of speeding tickets. It feels
Old-fashioned.
dusty, yeah. It feels like something my grandpa would keep next to the toilet.
That is a common misconception, and it is why most people fail.
This book is not about sales. It is the survival manual for the surveillance state. It is about human engineering.
Human engineering.
Like that. In a world where AI can fake a video of you, where your voice can be cloned, and where your location is tracked by satellites, the only thing that cannot be faked is genuine human connection.
Right.
That is the new currency. It is the only thing that proves you aren't a bot.
So we're fighting the Terminators with handshakes. I kind of like it. It feels very resistance leader. Come with me if you want to be liked.
Let's look at Principle 1. Carnegie writes, become genuinely interested in other people. Now, on the surface, that sounds like a platitude you'd see on a cat poster in a dentist's office.
Be nice, listen.
Yeah.
Right. But let's apply a physics lens to this in the context of 2026.
Lay it on me. Why is being interested a weapon?
Because we are drowning in what I call fiat attention. AI creates infinite content. Your email inbox is flooded with generated spam.
Oh, God, yeah.
LinkedIn DMs are a psyop of automated outreach. Everyone is screaming, look at me, look at me. The supply of noise is infinite, but the supply of genuine, focused human interest is effectively zero.
It's gone.
It is the scarcest resource on the planet.
That is a fact. Everyone today is a narcissist with a podcast. No offense to us, obviously.
Of course.
But seriously, everyone is broadcasting. Nobody is receiving. If you actually shut your mouth and listen to someone, like really listen to them without waiting for your turn to speak.
You become an anomaly.
You are a wizard. You are a glitch in the matrix. People don't know how to handle it. They look at you like, wait, you're not trying to sell me crypto. You just asked about my day and you waited for the answer. It breaks their brain.
Yeah, exactly. Carnegie cites a study by the New York Telephone Company. This is ancient data, obviously, from way before smartphones. But the biology hasn't changed.
Right.
They analyzed 500 telephone conversations to find the most frequently used word.
Let me guess. Money. Sex. Pizza.
It was the personal pronoun I.
Of course it was.
It was used 3,900 times in 500 calls. I did this. I want that. I feel this. People are obsessed with themselves. That is their default setting.
It's whole narcissism.
Carnegie realized that you can't fight that current. You have to ride it. If you want to hack the system, you stop saying I and you start asking you.
It's Jedi mind tricks, bro. It's the dark arts of empathy. I remember my Uncle Cheeto used to do this.
Oh, yeah?
He was a shady guy, borrowed money from everyone, never paid a dime back. But he never talked about himself. He'd sit you down and ask about your sciatica, your kids, your transmission. He'd remember the dog's name.
He was building rapport.
By the end of it, you're handing him $50 and thanking him for it. He weaponized being interested.
That is a morally gray application. But it proves the point. The mechanism works, regardless of the intent. But let's go deeper into the psychology. Principle 6. Make the other person feel important. Carnegie argues this is the deepest urge in human nature. It differentiates us from animals. A chimp doesn't care about feeling important in a societal sense. It just wants calories, warmth, and territory.
Right.
But humans, we crave significance. We crave status.
Oh, absolutely. That's why we have Instagram. That's why we have people renting Lamborghinis for photo shoots they can't afford. It's all a desperation play for importance. Look at me, I matter.
Carnegie uses a fascinating contrast here to illustrate the mechanism. He compares John D. Rockefeller to Dillinger.
John Dillinger, public enemy #1.
Yeah.
A legend. I mean, a criminal, but a legend.
Right. Dillinger was a killer and a thief. Rockefeller was a philanthropist who built hospitals and universities.
Total opposites.
They seem like polar opposites on the moral spectrum. But Carnegie points out that they were driven by the exact same mechanism, the desire to feel important.
Oh, wait.
Rockefeller got his dopamine hit by giving money to build a hospital in Beijing for people he'd never meet. That made him feel like a savior. Dillinger got his hit by robbing banks and having his face on every newspaper in America.
Wait, didn't Dillinger famously tell people who he was while he was robbing them?
Yes. The book mentions a specific incident. When the FBI was hunting him, he dashed into a farmhouse in Minnesota to hide.
Okay.
He didn't just hide in the basement. He announced to the family, "I'm Dillinger." He wasn't going to hurt them, but he needed them to know they were being robbed by the celebrity.
Wow.
He needed that recognition. He needed the ego boost, even while on the run.
I'm Dillinger. That's an ego flex. That's like a guy live streaming while the cops are chasing him. It's not enough to escape. You need the audience.
Precisely. And this is the key for our listener today. The grid society, the police, the algorithms, your boss, it rewards the people who satisfy that hunger for importance in others. If you act like Dillinger and scream, "Look at me," the system eventually crushes you. You become a target. But if you act like Rockefeller, or at least if you build the hospital that makes the other person feel like the king...
You become untouchable.
Exactly.
So the takeaway is, don't be a loud criminal, be a quiet operator who feeds everyone else's ego.
Correct. If you feed the ego of the beast will not eat you. Which brings us to the red phone.
Oh, let's go. I hear it ringing. We have an incoming transmission from the war room.
This is a specific case study from our short game listener profile. We call him NexYear. Codename? The Builder.
I love this kid. I've seen the file. He's 24 years old, operating out of a bunker in Springhouse, Pennsylvania. Spiritually, he's 65.
Huh. That's a good way to put it.
He hates the internet, hates the fake gurus. He's trying to do real business in a fake world.
And he is facing a classic dilemma of the modern age.
Yeah.
We'll call it the tycoon versus the clown.
A tale as old as time, or at least as old as TikTok.
Here's the situation. NexYear runs a gifting agency. His entire business model is sending high-value physical items, leather goods, rare whiskey, custom artifacts, to the offices of CEOs and high-net-worth individuals.
Solid model.
He is trying to bridge the gap between nobody and insider. But he is conflicted.
What's the conflict? He's sending whiskey. That sounds like the Lord's work. Who gets mad at whiskey?
The conflict is the environment we started the show with.
A Panopticon.
Right, the glass aquarium. NexYear wants to be a tycoon, a back-end operator, invisible, powerful. He despises the content creator economy. He doesn't want to do the dances. He doesn't want to point a text on a screen.
Good. Don't shake your ass for the algorithm, brother. The lions don't dance in the circus. The lions eat the circus.
But here is his question. In a world where police are tracking cars across 3 counties using doorbells, where privacy is dead, does sending a physical package to a stranger's office feel like strategy? Or does it feel like stalking?
Ooh, that is the question. Am I a genius, or am I going to get hit with a restraining order?
He is worried that in 2026, receiving a physical object from a stranger is too aggressive. It pierces the bubble.
I get it. If a box shows up at my house today, my first thought isn't, ooh, presents. My first thought is anthrax or pipe bomb. We are paranoid rats in a cage. We assume everything is a threat.
Let's reframe this for NexYear using the short game doctrine. We need to distinguish between stalking and gifting.
Okay.
Stalking is taking, stalking is demanding attention without value. Gifting is giving.
It's the energy, right? Stalking is creepy because it's selfish. It's about what you want. Gifting is an offering.
It is an economic argument. We call this signal-to-noise arbitrage. Think about the cost.
Right.
Sending an email costs $0. Sending a LinkedIn DM costs $0. Because the cost is 0, the volume is infinite. It is noise. It is spam.
It's sludge. Digital runoff. I delete it without reading it. It means nothing to me.
But a physical box, that requires packaging, shipping fees, logistics, and the cost of the item itself. That is proof of work. When a CEO sees a box on their desk, they know you expended tangible resources to get it there. That immediately separates you from the 10,000 bots in their inbox.
You can delete an email. You can't delete a box. It sits there like a gargoyle on the desk. It stares at you. It has mass. It has gravity. You have to physically deal with it.
Exactly. NexYear, if you are listening, you are not stalking. You are executing a high-cost signaling protocol. You are proving you are real in a simulation full of ghosts.
And let's be real about the clown thing. NexYear asks if he needs to become a TikTok dancer to get distribution. Absolutely not. That is begging.
It is.
Doing a trend is begging for attention.
Right.
Sending the box is offering value. Be the king, not the jester. Send the box.
But, and this is a big but, you have to execute it correctly. You cannot just send a box of random junk. That is creepy.
Okay, fair.
This is where we bring Dale Carnegie back into the war.
Right. If you send a box of hair, that's stalking. If you send a box, what makes it work?
Carnegie Principle 3. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. And Principle 2. Smile.
Okay, hold on. How do you put a smile in a box? Are we sending those yellow smiley face cookies? Because those taste like chalk and sadness.
No, we are talking about the metaphorical smile.
Oh, warmth.
Let's look at how Andrew Carnegie, no relation to Dale, interestingly enough, but the steel tycoon used names.
The guy who owned half of America.
The very same. He wanted to sell steel rails to the Pennsylvania Railroad, a massive contract. The president of the railroad was J. Edgar Thompson.
Okay.
Andrew Carnegie didn't just send a bid. He didn't just send a generic gift. He built a massive steel mill in Pittsburgh, and he named it the Edgar Thomson Steel Works.
He named the factory after the guy he was trying to sell to. That is a power move. That is glazing on a monumental scale.
It worked. When Thompson saw his name in giant letters on a functioning steel mill, his ego was so thoroughly stroked that he didn't even ask about the price. He just bought the rails.
Wow.
He felt important. He felt immortalized.
You named a factory after me. Here's the check. Humans are so simple. You press the ego button and the money comes out.
So for NexYear, the short game tactic is extreme personalization. You don't just send whiskey. You find out that the target loves a specific, obscure brand of Japanese whiskey from a trip they took to Kyoto in 2014. You send that bottle.
That's the dark arts right there. That shows you did the research. That proves you aren't a bot. A bot can't remember that I mentioned liking spicy pickles on a random podcast episode 3 years ago.
Right.
If you send me the pickles, I know you are a human. I know you listened.
It's the antidote to the panopticon. The reason the surveillance state feels cold is because it is impersonal. It is data extraction. The physical gift, properly researched, is the opposite.
Yes.
It is hyper-personal. It is giving data back in the form of value.
I have a story about this, the difficulty of smuggling value. Back in the day, before the podcast, before the short game, I was trying to, let's say, transport some exotic hamsters into Florida.
I feel like I shouldn't ask, but why were you transporting exotic hamsters?
Don't worry about the why. The market demand was there. The point is, do you know how hard it is to keep a hamster quiet in a duffel bag on a Greyhound bus?
I can't say that I do.
It is a dark art. You have to create an environment where they feel safe, where they don't squeak, where they are comfortable. You have to smuggle them past the driver, past the other passengers.
I fail to see the connection to corporate gifting and high-level strategy.
The connection is the smuggling. You are trying to smuggle a moment of joy into a CEO's office. That office is a fortress. It's guarded by secretaries, by security, by cynicism.
I see.
Everyone there is miserable. They are eating salads they hate. They are firing people. If you can smuggle a genuine moment of, hey, I see you. I know you like this thing. Here it is. You are the hamster in the duffel bag. You made it through the perimeter.
That is a bizarre analogy, but I accept the premise. It connects, strangely, to the story in Carnegie's book about the cafeteria worker.
The lady with the scowl.
Yes. He describes a woman working at a General Motors cafeteria. She was miserable. She had been standing there for hours ladling food. Carnegie calls it a scowl. She weighed the ham on a scale to make sure she didn't give a gram too much. She gave him one leaf of lettuce. She was acting like a robot because she was treated like a robot.
She was an NPC. She was glitching.
But then Carnegie treated her like a human. He stopped the line. He looked at her and told her she had beautiful hair. He smiled. And he describes the physical transformation. She shook, her face softened, she gave him extra ham, she smiled back.
She broke character.
The physical gift NexYear is sending is the equivalent of that moment. It cuts through the scowl of the digital world.
That's it. The internet is one big scowl. Twitter is a scowl. Your inbox is a scowl. The box of leather and whiskey is the smile. It's the smile of 2026.
And we should mention Charles Schwab here, too. Carnegie talks about Schwab's smile being worth $1 million. And he meant literally.
$1 million.
Schwab wasn't the smartest guy in the steel business. He didn't know the chemistry of steel better than the engineers. But he was paid $1 million a year in the 1920s because he could manage people.
$1 million in the 1920s is like, what, $1 billion now? Being charming is the highest ROI skill.
It solves the stalking fear completely. It is only stalking if it is about you. Look at my product, hire me, pay me.
Right.
If the gift is about them, I saw you achieve this, I know you value this, then it is strategy. It is Principle 6 in action.
Make them feel important. It's so simple, but nobody does it because they were too busy doing TikTok dances in their living room begging for likes.
Which brings us back to the synthesis. The short game isn't about shortcuts. It's about intensity. It's about reality. We say atoms over bits.
Atoms over bits, real stuff over fake stuff.
In a world where the police can track your license plate across 3 counties in 45 minutes, you cannot hide. You cannot be a gray man. That era is over.
Yeah.
You have to be a luminous man. You have to shine so bright with competence and genuine interest that the system invites you in.
Yeah. If the cameras are watching, give them a show. But not a clown show. Give them a show of class.
NexYear, build the bridge. Don't become the toll booth operator waiting for handouts. Build the bridge with physical things. Spend the money. Send the box. It is the only arbitrage left.
And for everyone else listening, look, the Ring doorbells are recording, the satellites are overhead, the algorithm knows you bought that weird cream for your rash.
It knows everything.
You can't fight the grid, but you can hack the humans running it.
Be the person who remembers the name. Be the person who sends the thoughtful note. Be the person who listens.
Be a human. The robots can't do that yet. Short game out.
All right, that's the signal. Look, we talked about a lot today. The cameras are watching. The algorithm is tracking. You can't hide. But here is the takeaway. You don't have to dance. Everyone is telling you to be a clown on TikTok to get business. They are wrong. That is the jester strategy. We are playing the king strategy. If you want to win friends and influence people in 2026, stop shouting at a camera and start actually caring about the person across from you. Send the gift, write the note, shake the hand. Be a human in a world of robots. That is the ultimate leverage. I'm NexYear. I'm done dancing. I'm building. Go do something real today. Short game, out.